Episode 40. I've moved into the jungle.
Welcome to Thriving with Nature, a podcast that gives you the tools you need to live a modern lifestyle that helps regenerate our planet. And now your host, Hayley Weatherburn.
Good morning, Thrivers. How are you all this morning? Thank you all so much for your listeners. I have listeners from all around the world. It's so very exciting. For those of you who have been following either on Instagram or YouTube, you'll know that I have now officially moved into the jungle. So you probably hear beautiful sounds around. There's a river down in the valley, the hush of the leaves, birds singing, crickets, all a plethora of insects and butterflies, and I'm in heaven. So I just want to share with you a bit of my experience moving in and what's been happening. I mean, last night there was a beautiful firefly, so a little insect that had little pulsating, like a real slow pulsing, beautiful yellow light from its buttocks. It was so cute, and I saw it in the light, and then I'd forgotten about it, and then at nighttime when I laid my head down and turned the light off, I looked up into the top of the cabin, and there was 2 fireflies just flying around. It was just absolutely magical. And so I've moved in with my cat. For those of you who don't know, I have a cat called Kayla, and that's been interesting because there is no fences. It's literally a cabin in the middle of the jungle. And so trying to get her used to the areas, the smells, and being able to find her way home, I'm in the middle of that at the moment. We're on day 3, and she's currently somewhere where I can't see her, but I have a little clicker that when you click it, I always click it and feed her, and it's a little buzzer that goes off on her collar. And I did the first experiment. So the first 2 days I had her completely in the cabin, and it's a very tiny cabin. I'll be doing a video on that on YouTube soon, so make sure you go and subscribe over there on Thriving with Nature. But inside this tiny cabin I had her locked in, and she found a couple of little ways up in the roof, between the roof and the walls. Between the roof and the walls there was a gap, and she found her way out a bit. So I had to go and put some sort of metal mesh in there to make sure that she couldn't get out, because I needed a secure place, especially if I have to leave. I haven't actually left the cabin since I got here. So today's Tuesday, and I moved in officially on Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're on day 4 here. But yeah, the day 2, I finally let her just walk a little bit. I was very nervous. I've actually lost cats when I've moved before. So I'm a little bit traumatized by it. So she has a GPS collar and a locator. And so I was a bit nervous, and I let her go, and then I clicked the button, and it was the most joyful experience to see her bounding through the long grass and jungle, coming back to be fed. And it just gave me confidence that I need to do this a little bit each day. And that's what's happening right now. So I saw her venture a little bit further today in a new area. So I'm just keeping a semi-eye on her. I have an alarm set for every 30 minutes to just go and see if I can put my eyes on her. Otherwise, I'll click the button. But yeah, so that's one thing I've been doing while learning to thrive with nature. You know, I'm excited for her, a chance for her to be the animal in nature that I believe that we're all meant to be, in tune with nature. And so she's been she's a little bit on the pudgy side. She's definitely been well fed. And so I'm interested to see if she slims down, and I'm already slimming down myself. Just by being here and being able to go up and down the mountain. And she's running back right now. She found her way. That's a real comforting thing. She ran all the way up the mountain just then. I see her, something must have spooked her, and she ran all the way up. Are you okay, darling? Hey, you say hello to all the podcast listeners. Say meow. No, she's not going to. But she ran all the way home. And again, as long as cats know how to find their way home when they're scared, you're in a good space. So that is another, you were witness to all that, ear witnessed, not an eye witness, you're an ear witness to that. So that's very awesome. So what else has been happening? I've set downstairs, so underneath the cabin, I got a little kitchen built, which is really awesome. So all my kitchen stuff is there. There's an area that's going to be storage, so I'll put the rest of that there. My worms, I have a worm farm. You may have seen it in some previous videos. It's in a bathtub. It's having a bit of issues because we've had a lot of rain lately, and the drain isn't flooding. It isn't draining as well. So I had this experience where on day 2, when I finally sort of was starting to, make this place my own, I went out to the worms and I was like, why are all the worms around the edge of the bathtub? And the whole thing was full of water because it had been raining so heavy. And so I had this emergency stress situation of trying to drain out the water and make sure to put some more carbon in and make it a little less muddy. And oh my gosh, I've never seen, I tell you what, I now know I have a lot of worms because there were worms on top of worms to make this big long multiple worm, like a Transformers, and all the worms come together. That was a very interesting experience. So getting that, I'm hoping that's in the right place. Then I've got all my plants in their pots around the front that I need to find the best place for. So that's something I've got to look at. I'm observing where the sun is at what time and all that kind of thing. So these are all the things to think about when you start thriving with nature. But I just want to share with you what I can describe what I'm sitting. I'm sitting out on this bamboo bench. Kayla's just going for another bit of explore. And to the left of me, I see a big chili tree. I see papaya. I see eggplant planted. There's bananas. There's coffee plants, papaya trees. There's a durian tree right in front of me. Oh, there's a cassava over there, which is like tapioca. What else can I see just in this place here? Apparently there's some sabo. I think it's a type of, there's palm sugar. There's palm sugar up there. So much. Just in this, and that's just from what I can see. That something over there looks like it could be an avocado, but it doesn't look like an avocado. And there's gorgeous pink flowers. There's these peach sort of upside down flowers. There are the butterflies. There's these big floating butterflies the size of your palms that just sort of float along the breeze in the valley here. Then there's beautiful bright blue butterflies, and I had 2 little yellow butterflies dancing in my kitchen. Yeah, it's been absolutely divine. And I want to share with you this journey, this podcast. As you know, for those who've been listening, I do like to do interviews and let's learn more about how we can thrive with nature. And I bring in the experts so we can all learn a bit more. But I also want to share on this podcast is a bit of a journey and a story of how I'm learning to thrive with nature here in this cabin. And I'm eventually looking at getting some land, as I've mentioned before. So I'll share with that journey and how I decide what I get and all that kind of stuff. And I'll also be filming it all on the YouTube channel, so make sure you head over there. But anyway, I just wanted to update you. It's been a while and I just absolutely love connecting with you all and love sharing this story. And if there's anything you want to know about living in a cabin in the jungle, please reach out through any of the social medias. I can't remember the email address, info@thrivingwithnature.com. Don't quote me on that. But you should be able to try it. I'll make sure it works. Or you could contact me via the Thriving with Nature Facebook page or Instagram Thriving with Nature or YouTube Thriving with Nature. Yeah, I'm there and would love to hear from you. Yeah. Anyway, I wish you all a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and may you thrive with nature today, moving forward. All right. Have a beautiful day. Hey, if you enjoyed listening to my podcast, remember to subscribe to hear more. You also have to come check out the Living Supplement Garden, a garden that reads your individual's body's condition and grows the substances it requires to move towards optimal health and potentially healing your ailments. When we align with nature, we thrive with nature. I'd love to have you join myself and others as we discover the magic of nature together and strive to heal both ourselves and our planet. Go to thrivingwithnature.com.